Do you know that a single tiny spice in your kitchen could transform your health? From relieving pain and boosting your immunity to enhancing digestion and fighting inflammation. We talk about this all the time, but the answer is in your kitchen all this time. This natural powerhouse is often overlooked. So imagine sipping a simple tea or adding a pinch to your meals and reaping these benefits. Don't miss out on discovering how this humble spice can revolutionize your life. Hey, everybody, I'm Scott Patton, your co-host, along with Martin Patella, health coach and life enthusiast. Hey, Martin, how are you doing today?
It's a lovely, lovely, lovely life. Today is 12/12/24. I think it's a double dozen year or day. I think it's kind of cute.
That is cute. I didn't realize that. A special day and a special spice that we're going to be talking about.
You know, there's this thing, spices, herbs and spices. You see, food, ordinary plants that we eat, like wheat or tomato or carrot, they grow one season. Well, carrot is a biennial, so it takes 2 years to grow a carrot. But it's just done in one season, 3 to 4 months, and that's it. So that's how much time it spends interacting with the soil and with the environment. But herbs and spices are, what are they called? Permanent? No, there's another word for
Perennial.
it. Perennial, yes. And that means that they have to put up with seasons, and they have the time to extract from soils. So they build much greater density of the hard to get stuff.
Cool. I didn't realize that. One of the reasons I wanted to talk, we're going to be talking about cloves, by the way. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it was, I forget where I was, but I was in one of those little tiny hole-in-the-wall health shops, and they had clove oil. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I've never tried that. So I got this bottle of clove oil, and I thought, well, now what am I going to do with it? And I thought, oh, I'll just sort of rub it on my head. And to my amazement, my hair started to turn dark. I don't know if it was just any oil, it would bring out the dark colors.
No, it's not the oil. It's the polyphenols. They are supreme antioxidants. And oxidation is aging, right? So when you do antioxidation, you're reversing aging. So you would be essentially reverting your hair follicles back to their younger version. So they would be pushing out full color hair.
And that's what's been happening. So I was so excited about it. I thought we need to share the magic of cloves and spices with everybody.
And sure enough, just as we announce it, our friend George pops up and says, oh yeah, gosh, yeah, I use this stuff all the time. 7 days a week, he says. And he says the following: inside of a small pot, I put in echinacea, cloves, burdock root, Tilera, or Breathe Easy, and Dr. Morse's Heal All. And then I bring it to boil, and then I strain after it cools, and he says it lasts only 2 days. Then I have to do it over. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so here's an interesting bit. George writes, clove has the chemical known eugenol, that all these things that end with ol, N-O-L, or something like cannabidiol or eugenol here, are essentially these extracts, what shall we call them, terpenes and such, that come out of plants. So eugenol specifically, as it comes out of cloves, is really potent at defeating the defenses that our microbial parasites put up, specifically the biofilms. Right?
Cool. Yeah.
So biofilm is is the thing that's the hardest to deal with. We build biofilms inside of our mouth and inside of our gut all the time. Well, we don't. The guys, the microbes that are there, they build these defenses so that we can't get at you. Did I say it badly? Yes. So that you can't get at them. The immune system is being prevented from reaching the colony of these microbes by them essentially circling the wagons in a way, building a biofilm.
Right. So we have good bacteria, bad bacteria. We have good other things that are around, and the bad stuff is causing problems.
Right. Renfrew, Ontario. That's really boonies as far as I can tell. That's good. We like people who live in places that are shared with bears and elk and stuff like that.
And probably has a garden that he should be growing cloves in.
I don't know if cloves is a warm, heat-loving thing. That's one of the
Spices
things.
aren't they?
Yeah. You know what's interesting? That's what the Europeans craved the most, right? The money they paid, or the effort they went to bring a bag of spice from the Orient.
Right. It's what really fired the exploration and the colonization of the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well, so cloves. It's an awesome, awesome tool that is greatly ignored or underappreciated. It does improve oral health dramatically. People, I see, health nuts walking around with a single stick of clove. By the way, clove looks really cute. It's like a little pearl. Well, it's tiny, but it's like a little pearl sitting on top of a little pedestal or a stick.
Pedestal, yeah.
Anyway, I see guys walking around with one stick of cloves in their mouth and just having it there, right?
Just chewing, yeah, sort of.
Not chewing it, just allowing it to do its thing.
Huh. So it's a very powerful immune boost.
Yes, absolutely.
And the next thing that it does is it helps with your digestive health. So if you've got bloating, gas, and I would say that everybody has poor, 99.9% of people have poor gut health.
Yeah. It's so common, right? It's so easy to catch some infected stuff, eat something that, well, let's just imagine a salad that somebody put together for you and they failed to wash off the feces off of their hands before they went touching your salad. Right. So we're now circulating the stuff that is supposed to leave and stay away. We're putting it back into the top side, and that's going to cause us challenges.
Right.
So
Merlin says he makes a ginger tea with lots of cloves.
That's Marilyn, yes. Right. Yeah, well, ginger tea. Okay, so ginger, of course, is another one of those magical plants. We talked about it in our recent conversations. Ginger, turmeric, cloves, garlic. I mean, I don't love garlic tea, but garlic has a lot of qualities to it, right?
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that's really interesting is fennel. We actually, at Life Enthusiast, we have the product line from North American Herb and Spice, what a cleverly named business, Herb and Spice. That's exactly what they do. And what we have from them are extracts, and they either do steam extracts or carbon dioxide extracts. And we have their oregano, and we have ginger and curcumin, and we have, what is that other thing called? Cilantro. Yeah, cilantro is another one. And another really interesting one is called fenatrol. It's an extract from fennel. And fennel is the thing that tastes like licorice or,
Yeah.
well, sort of like licorice, but fennel is that really lovely aromatic taste that, well, some people cook with it, right? But in this case, it's also extracted. And what's interesting about it, it really helps to soothe a stormy bowel. So if you have bloat, gas, any upset, whatever, a bit of fennel oil goes a long way. So that's why we have all of these products in the product line. And it's not commonly stocked. Like, one thing I don't understand is why there is not every health store in every little town stocking these things, but they don't. So here we are offering it. Yeah, so it's the herbs and the spices, right? The herbs would be things like rosemary, and we have rosemanol, and sage, we have saginol, and oregano, of course, we have oregano. All of these bits and pieces.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about clovenol.
Right. Well, I mean, there is not that much to it, right? It is supremely good at helping the body, helping the immune system to break down the barriers that the little critters build to protect themselves from the immune system. So breaking down the biofilms allows our immune system to clear things out. So if you have issues, dental issues, gums, right? Gum issues, anything of that sort, supremely helpful.
Yeah, so it'll help with the pain. If we have a little bit of pain, it'll...
Well, it's anti-inflammatory, right? So
Right.
as soon as it reduces the inflammation, the pain goes down with it. Yeah.
Right. Cool. And you also wanted to talk about Hempanol.
Right. Yeah. So same idea, same company, extracting hemp using carbon dioxide. We end up with a product that is a well, all these different what are we calling them? Terpenes. Carophyllene is another one of them. All of them are supremely helpful in anti-inflammatory, anti-pain, calming things down, helping the body stay well. We're having a bit of a problem with our regulators. They have been making it difficult for us to sell anything hemp on our main website, because all the credit card processors, American Express or PayPal or Amazon Pay, they tell us in very clear language, thou shalt not have anything hemp on the site where you are using our payment methods. So we have to have a separate site. And that's why you see the link. It goes to remarkablerecovery.com. And that's where you'll find it. And the only way you can pay there is either by check, direct bank transfer, or give us a call. We'll figure something out.
All of the products and the links to the products are in the comments. So if you're wondering what they are and don't want to type them out, just click there. Yeah, we agree, George. It's tyranny.
Well, it's really hard to figure out how much I can say full on here on Facebook, because we've seen some really interesting shift. Ever since Mark Zuckerberg started practicing jiu-jitsu, he started growing some testicles. His testosterone level goes up. You know, when you are in a full contact sport, your testosterone level goes up, no question. And he is growing a pair of cojones, and he is well, I mean, it started out by he writing a letter saying, I am really sorry for having applied all the censorship that I did. I'm really sorry I caved to the demands of the government and the agencies. And then just recently he went and took a trip down to Mar-a-Lago to discuss with the boss what's coming. So
So did he grow a pair, or did he just see which way the wind was flowing and it realized it had changed directions and he decided, I'm going to go with this wind? I think
I
Elon
think it's
Musk.
some of both. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Elon Musk made a big change over at Twitter.
You know,
And
that was one thing that totally shifted the entire atmosphere of what we have been experiencing.
yeah,
Because when there is just one innocent little child who's willing to say the emperor has no clothes on, it breaks the thing down. Well,
yeah,
that's what Elon Musk did. I remember early on when he just first bought it. I remember the commentaries where people were saying, "What an idiot! He's so overpaid what he was getting." I'm
right.
thinking he knew something that these commentators didn't know. He had a mission in mind, and he probably just couldn't care less about the sticker price.
Well, he definitely changed the direction, because I know how hard it was to get any sort of information that was helpful out on Facebook and Twitter before him,
Yeah,
and now it's changed a lot, and YouTube too. Like um,
yeah,
I
they're
know
much
groups
less.
that had 500,000 people in them. They were just deleted in Facebook overnight. No warning, no nothing,
Yeah,
and no real good reason except that they weren't towing the company line.
yeah. Well, what's interesting is that I just recently watched a interview with Joe Rogan and Mike Benz. Benz like Mercedes Benz. And there, I can't say more because I just don't know how well accepted it is. But it is on YouTube and you can listen to it, you can hear it. And I tell you, it's just astounding as to what he actually explains about this. Well, that the last 8 years that we have experienced, and
Right.
well, maybe 14 years. I don't know. It's been a process. You know what's interesting? It's sort of like a geometric thing, right? Like population growth, for example, right? For 2 billion years, or for the existence of humans, we have 1 billion people on the planet. That was, I think, about Roman times was about 1 billion. When I was born in '50s, there was 2 billion, and then all of a sudden it took off, and we're now at 8 billion in the next 50 years, right? 60 years, and I think that has been happening, is that the state, the actors that would like to control everything and everyone were increasing the pressure, and all of a sudden it hit this exponential takeoff. Reminds me of clove oil in the following way, right? If you have a minor amount of infection, if you keep it in check, nothing much happens. But if for some reason you lose the ability to control it, it takes off and causes you a lot of trouble. So a little bit of clove oil goes a long way. Clovenol is the product name, goes a long way toward protecting your mouth, especially your gums and whatnot, from the effects of these microbial films. And if you swallow it, if you get it down into your gut, the clove oil will help dramatically to improve your ability to cope with the opposition. The opposition being the microbes that would like to thrive rather than not in your body. Yeah.
I've been trying to find that link because you sent it to me and I watched the first half of it and it was pretty amazing.
Oh, the Mike Benz. Do you think
Yeah.
that I could dare to put it here into this conversation?
Absolutely, yeah. It's
Okay.
I think it's a really important discussion that needs to be had, because people, I've actually had this conversation with another friend of mine. People think we have free will. And to a certain degree, like am I going to have eggs for breakfast or am I going to have pancakes for breakfast? You have a bit of free will, but the amount of influence, the impact of influence on us, I think, is very, very understated. And I really felt it when I was in South Africa. As I was telling my friends, I've been to places like Medellin, which was the most dangerous city in the world for a decade, although it was 20 years ago. And I've been to a lot of other places where I stand out like a sore thumb. And I walk around, and I mean, I don't go to like slums at 2 a.m. or, places that are obviously dangerous, but I'm in cities that are concerning. And I never really had a problem. And when I'm in Johannesburg, which is considered the number one most dangerous city now, I would pull out my phone to look at the map. And on 2 occasions that I did that, so the 2 occasions I pulled out my phone to look at a map to see where I was, to see how to get to where I wanted to go, 2 people came up to me each time and said, "Put that away. It's going to get snatched. It's really dangerous here." And all of a sudden, I'm kind of like closing down. Like, I don't want to go out as much. I don't want to see as many places. I want to kind of huddle because all of a sudden everything is dangerous. And it really wasn't dangerous, right? Like, I mean, I'm walking down the street. There's a local black guy's walking down the street. We look at each other, we smile at each other, we say hi and pass each other like no problem. And I see other groups of people where, like, I went into a park and there's a group of 10 black people there in South Africa, and they all look at me. I look at them. I wave, they wave. I smile, they smile. I say hi, they say hi, and away you go, right? So, although a friend of mine did say that there's a party there that wants, their platform is killing all the whites, and 16% of the population votes for them every election. So, there are people that don't like the color of my skin. But what I really noticed was that influence of this is dangerous by being told over and over and over by everybody that lives there, that it really impacted how I reacted to the environment. So,
yeah, I just wanted to note that Solar Warden, whoever that is, says North American herb and spice make the best products. And rest in peace, Dr. Ingram.
Yeah.
I did an interview with Cass Ingram back when, and I posted the link just now, podcast 348. And Cass was a force of nature. I tell you, he was awesome. It's a real shame that his untimely passing from a bizarre infection. Yeah. Anyway, awesome guy. So in that interview that we have there, he discusses all the different herbs and all the different spices and how you combine them. We're discussing saginol and rosemanol and cilantro and all of the other ones that we have on the website. It's an awesome conversation if you can take the time. Yeah, to take a good look. He was in a great form that day.
Good. We're coming to the end of our time here, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever else, X. And we're going to be moving over to Telegram for the next hour to talk about things that still don't feel safe. Speaking about not feeling safe, talking about here. So we want to encourage you to head over there and spend some more time with us. It's very much more interactive. You can actually speak to us if you want. t.me/life-and-co. And we'll put that into the comments. And also, if you are interested in improving your health, head over to Life Enthusiast, and you can set up a time to chat with Martin and discuss all the things that you want to talk about, and he'll be able to really help you with your health, as he has thousands of other people.
Yeah. One last comment. Solar Warden, Big Brother is watching here. Listen, yeah. Big Brother is watching everywhere. Every single bit of digital content, whether it's a phone call or a post, is being pulled into the large bucket of content. What I expect to see coming out in the next 6 months is going to be breaking a lot of people's perception of the world as what they thought reality was. Anyway, um, yeah.
And so next week we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? 7 warning signs of parasites and how to fight back.
Yes, parasites.
Parasites, one of our favorites.
Government agent.
Yeah, and it'll be like the parasites in your body, not necessarily the parasites.
Are sucking money out of your bank account.
That's right.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. Really appreciate you and having you with us. And come over to t.me/life and co, and let's continue the conversation. Bye for now.